What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to take a quick look at the Nokia 6.1 and just hear my thoughts on the phone. We'll start with the exterior. On the outside of the phone, on the back, we have a 16 megapixel camera on the top, LED flash at the bottom, along with a fingerprint reader right here. And then flipping it over to the front, an 8 megapixel camera there. We have a speaker grill right here at the bottom, and then a USB Type-C charging port. The screen size is 5.5 inch. It's a 1080p LCD display, along with this nice bronze copper trim that goes all around the phone, and then also accents on the back for the camera and the fingerprint reader. So overall, I think that this phone looks very cosmetically pleasing. It's a pretty cool phone. With the 5.5 inch display, it fits a little wide in the hand, but you can definitely use this one-handed if you want, so no issue there. Now we're going to delve into the internals real fast. It's using a Snapdragon 630 processor. It has 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage, which it is expandable with a SD card, a micro SD card. Right here on the side tray, we can see here, this is a SIM tray, and it can house 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card plus the micro SD card. So that's pretty cool that it's expandable. We still have a 3.5 millimeter head jack on the top, which is going to be a good thing for a lot of people. I know that with the new smartphone flagships out there, they're eliminating that. So for anyone that really loves that feature, it's still on this guy. And then right here along the sides too, we have the volume rocker as well as the power button. And they're pretty flush, but they just jut out a little bit, so it's a nice touch, and they're very clicky. You can hear that, and it works really well. So overall, I'm very pleased with this phone. It's pretty cool. I think it's an excellent budget phone, and we're going to get to that in a second here. But when we're looking through this phone, you can flip through it. It is unlocked. I'm using a T-Mobile SIM card. It does not do CDMA, so I think it's limited to like AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro, things of that nature. So I'm using a T-Mobile card, no issue with the service. Battery life, it has 3,000 milliamp battery. The phone, when you purchase it, comes with the 6.1 phone itself, a USB-C fast charger, and then a kind of like a, just a standard pair of headphones that a smartphone would come with if they do, right there for the top for that 3.5 millimeter jack. So, and you can see here, it's pretty fast. There's no issues. In comparison to like a Pixel 3 or any newer flagship, obviously there's going to be some discrepancies there. It's not going to load as fast, but I didn't find any loading times when opening up any apps or flipping through and watching videos and audio to have, anything that would ruin my experience. That's why I feel like, when you talk about a phone and the price, it's a huge part of it, but if you didn't know the price, and you just saw this in a store and picked it up, it's a pretty good quality phone. That's why I'm super stoked about it. It's a fantastic phone. This comes in at about $229 brand new. You can find it even as low as $200 sometimes when it goes on sale, but for that price, it's just, it's awesome. I know that, you can compare and say that, well, maybe you're overlooking things because of the price. But again, when I look at this and when I've been using it for about 2 weeks daily just to test it out and see what my thoughts were on it. And I think it's fantastic. This is going to suit anyone that's a middle to lower moderate user. You're not going to be gaming on this thing or anything like that, but for phone calls, texts, reading some news articles, streaming some video, listening to music, it's great. There's not enough latency to where I feel like it ruins the experience. It is part of the Google One lineup. So what that means is that, Google One, Android One lineup, my apologies. The Android One lineup means that you're going to get 2 years of Google updates for the Android, operating system that's on it. It comes stock with Android Oreo 8.1, but it does stay true to its word with the updates. I think a week ago it already updated to Android 9, so Pie, and it works great. It's just a nice stripped down version of Android, and because of that, it runs so smooth. I know that the processor isn't the newest. It's not running like a Snapdragon 845 as of right now, but it's really smooth, and because of that, I find that this phone is fantastic, and I just want to let you guys know about it, especially with the holidays coming up. You know, we just had Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up, and New Year. So if you're out there looking for a phone and you've seen a Nokia 6.1 and you're kind of curious, you know, my recommendation is there. It's a big thumbs up. I think this is a great phone, especially for anyone that's either on a budget and doesn't want to spend over $1,000 for a smartphone to get a good experience, or for someone that's just a light to moderate user and wants something a little bit smaller, because nowadays the phones are very big. It's a 5.5-inch display, and it still fits in a single hand well. It's a little wide, but you know, that's a very minimal complaint on my end. It still is definitely, I can operate it one-handed, just changing my position of my hands. So I think it's great. The body build is really good too. It's all aluminum around the edges, so it's just built like a tank. I haven't dropped the phone, but you know, just from picking it up and a little bit of weight to it, it feels like it's a great quality build. So, and then also just USB Type-C, since so many devices are going to it now, it's nice that this is joined the ranks. So that means that you don't have to worry about, you know, having multiple types of cables to charge your device. And again, too, the display, it's just an LCD display, 1080p, but in daylight, with the sun shining on you, going outdoor to indoor, it does a great job. I have no problem seeing the screen and seeing what's going on. The camera system's a little weak, but I think it's still good. And what I mean by that is, you know, if I'm going out and about and if I'm taking some still photos here and there, it does produce a very good image. The only problem is if the target or what you're trying to take a photo of is, you know, there's a lot of motion going on. Even most smartphones will struggle with that, except for some of the higher end flagships. And then low light, it's pretty bad. And low light with the LED flash enabled is really bad too. The colors draw out. But again, if it's just a normal outside sunshiny day or indoors well lit, you won't have any complaints with it. It's pretty good. So I definitely can say that as a daily driver, you know, it's a good phone. You're not gonna be disappointed unless you're expecting something that's like super high-end, super fast for a low cost, and you're like maybe trying to game on it or something like that. Then you might want to look elsewhere. But otherwise, for just daily tasks and being a smartphone in 2018, I think this is a great option for you guys. And I'm all about options, so it's cool that they brought that into the mix. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you found it helpful, please hit that like button. If you loved it, you know, just consider subscribing. I really appreciate that. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one.